Hello everyone. In this lecture, we are going to understand about the thermodynamic system and its approach. Thermodynamic system is defined as quantity of matter or a region in space on which a study is focused. That means if we are talking about quantity of matter, we are going to understand it in terms of control mass. And when we are talking about a region in the space, in that regard, we are going to understand with the reference of control volume. The system approach has two approaches. One is control mass and another one is control volume. In control mass approach, we are going to consider mass, and in control volume approach, we are going to disregard mass. So let's understand them one by one. First is control mass system and another one is control volume system. When we are talking about control mass system, we are taking into consideration a system which is having a finite mass. But when we are talking about a control volume system, we are considering a control volume in which mass is disregarded. That means there is no focus on quantity and a particular region is selected in which the study is going on, as you can see here. The dotted lines represents the control volume surface. And thermodynamic systems are of three types. One is closed, second one is open, and third one is isolated. Let's understand them one by one. In a closed system, we are basically dealing with a controlled mass system. Alright, controlled mass system, that means we are having a system which is having a mass as well as a finite volume. And we are considering a system boundary which is having no thickness. That means the volume of the boundary itself is 0, and everything else except the system, that means the surrounding, it is basically, let's say for example, if we are considering system of a IC engine, that means a piston cylinder arrangement without a exhaust or intake valve, right? So that particular system would be considered as a controlled mass system as well as a closed system. In that particular system, what we are having is that particular system is the closed system, and the whole surrounding, that means the whole universe, would be act as the surrounding. This boundary can be fixed or moving. The boundary that we have assumed, that is having no thickness, it can be fixed or moving, as I told you, like the piston and cylinder arrangement, in which when the piston is going to TDC and then coming back to BDC, so that particular area, that particular region can be considered as a system boundary. Now, as far as the closed system is concerned, we are considering a piston cylinder arrangement again with mass fixed but having no exhaust valve. Control mass system is eventually a closed system. Here energy interaction is possible, but there is no mass interaction because the mass is finite. Mass is not going to change. Next is your control volume system. A control volume system is basically an open system in which the mass interaction as well as the energy interaction is possible. And then we have isolated system. In isolated system, not even the mass as well as the energy interaction is possible. That means mass cannot come in or go out, as well as energy cannot come in or go out. So the very basic example of a isolated system would be a thermos, in which we put tea, coffee, or even water to make it remain as hot or cold. So that particular system can be considered as a isolated system. Now let's understand about the open system in brief detail. Let's take an example of a compressor that we deal with many power plants and other industries. In this particular compressor, mass is coming in and as well as going out, and for that we need to have some work done. Outside work done is also required. So that means energy is also coming in, energy is also going out. So what we are considering for this particular compressor, the body of the compressor is considered as the control volume, which is having a fixed identity. So we have understood about the types of thermodynamic systems, closed, open, and isolated, and we also understood about the system approaches, that is control mass and control volume. Thank you.